So welcome everybody. We're going to start straight away. It's 10 o'clock. This is a welcome to Summarise, which is the second in our AI Summer Series. We're going to zoom in today on the specific use cases of Microsoft Copilot in your daily work life. So just a reminder for those of you who are attending for the first time, you're in the AI Summer Series that we're running. We've already completed episode 1 in June, which was focused on how Copilot can help that dreaded first day back in the office after holidays. For those of you who missed it, you can still recap that episode via the YouTube link, which we'll supply after this webinar. So the AI Summer Series is also the road to Rory. For those of you who are not golf fans, he's simply one of the best professional golfers of his time, and chance to see him performing up close is a must. It's not just for golf fans, it's also just for sports fans, but for anyone who appreciates an individual excelling at his craft. So following the road is simple. Just attend our monthly webinars. Every webinar you attend gives you another chance to be invited to see Rory live at our corporate event at the Irish Golf Open in Royal County Down on the 13th of September. Again, this is a must attend event for golfers and non-golfers alike, as we host you at our table at the 18th green, where you'll get to see Rory up close and personal. So who are Case Dimensions and what is Microsoft Copilot? Put simply, Case Dimensions are a leading Microsoft Gold IT support partner with a focus on the highest industry levels of cybersecurity. Our marquee support offering is known as Secure Cloud IT Support. And also in recent months, we've been accredited as a specialist partner for the development of Copilot AI in your business in a controlled and safe way. We specifically take into account all of the key security and compliance controls recommended for a successful introduction of AI into your business. But we won't be going into that technical subject today. We're just going to focus on the use cases of Copilot. So what are people saying about Microsoft Copilot? Here's some candid comments from the early adopters of Copilot. Our people are seeing immediate productivity improvements with Copilot. The ability to ask questions during a meeting is fantastic, and meeting summaries are very useful. And finally, I no longer need to spend time consolidating meeting notes. Copilot does it for me. I'm saving 10 minutes of time with each meeting, and this goes on, and I'll continue to add kind of comments as they come in. So we're going to talk about the power of summarizing with Copilot in the following scenarios: email, Word documents, Teams chats, meetings, images, and finally, presentations. So let's get straight to it. So tip 1, I've just received this email, but it is me being copied on a dreaded lengthy email thread. So what you usually do is strain your eyes and your mouse scrolling skills to scroll down to the start of the thread and try to read back on what has been said to date. Or I can click Summarize, which is the convenient new Copilot button in the top right corner. So let's see what this looks like. So what you've seen there was two versions of reviewing an email thread. You've seen me scrolling down to the bottom of the thread to try and recap what was going on, which was a very frustrating 30 seconds. The alternative, which you've seen, is I clicked on the summarize button, and in around 10 seconds, I get a super summary, which is in front of you here. And the real power of this, it has backlinks to each of the comments. So if I want to see more about this third comment, I simply click on the link here and it brings me directly to that full email. So it's 10 seconds of simple review as opposed to 30 seconds of frustration. So that's tip one. So let's move straight on to tip two, which is helping your colleagues with Word Doc summaries. So I've just received this lengthy invitation to tender from our friends in RTE. You'll see it's 35 pages long, 8,000 words. And again, my mouse scrolling skills are going to be challenged with this one. But in the top right corner, Copilot is already offering me to summarize this document. So let's see how that goes. So in this case, what you see is the document was 35 pages long. I managed to just click on Copilot to give me a summary here. So we'll just click on the summary. And as you can see, what Copilot has done is give me a super accurate review and summary of the document, which helps me make an instant decision on whether we should go for this tender at all. And also what you can do is share this document with your colleagues, and Copilot again offers a quick intro summary that can be sent with the document so your colleagues understand what you're talking about today. So I'll quickly move on to tip three, which is regarding lengthy Teams chats. So I don't know about you, but in our business now, Teams chats are a key component of what we do. Some of these chats can be very, very chatty, literally. And so the tip three is aimed at helping those group chats that go on forever. But this time, I want you to notice that how Copilot is aware of what the chat is about. So there's a couple of different chat types I'm going to show you. One is a business chat we have around the leadership team, and there's lots of questions and queries in it. The second chat is mostly fun and usually only talks about cake in the office and other unstressed things like that. So just so in this case, what came out of the summary was these two reviews. So the one on the left was our serious business chat, and as you can see, Copilot has picked up on lots of decisions being made and lots of questions being asked. On the right hand side is our casual chat in the business, and as you see, the most important thing that comes out of that seems to be about a donut quiz. So again, it's just to give you the comparisons that Copilot is aware of what's going on in the chat and what is serious and what's fun. So we move on to tip four, which is recapping a meeting. So meetings, and the reality is that as far as I can see, no one can actually participate in in meetings and take notes at the same time. So Copilot steps in that case and tries to support you in terms of essentially taking the meetings and taking the notes in the background. So in this case, the output from Copilot was it's reviewed the team's meeting and listened in basically on what was talked about, and comes back with these two key recaps. My favorite are key topics and action items, which can be easily selected from the Copilot menu. And as you can see in key topics, it calls out what myself and Dermot specifically talked about at that meeting. And more importantly, it also talks about the action items, i.e. what was clearly committed to and what has to be followed up on. So again, that's a simple example of recapping a meeting and how quick you can get to the details without having to take notes. Tip 5 is a slight break from the norm and just gives you an idea of the endless power of Copilot. And in this case, we're going to ask Copilot questions about an image. This case, what happened here was I dropped in an image here, which is, I can see there's definitely a horse in it and there's the Eiffel Tower. And I've asked Copilot what this image is about. And as you can see in the summary, not only did it identify that it was show jumping and that it happens every year in front of the Eiffel Tower, but somehow it figured out that this was also sponsored by Longines, the luxury watchmakers. And when I do look a bit deeper into that image, I do see a clock just underneath the horse, if you want to be specific. So it also gives you like a very intriguing insight as to what this event is all about, and even uses emojis to try and tell you what this event is about. So it's a slightly different angle, but it just shows you can actually critique even images. In this case, I've used a very obvious one, but you can see that the quality of the response and the summary that Copilot has sent. So I'll move on now to tip 6 and the final tip, which is summarizing a lengthy PowerPoint. And in this use case, I've received a 64-page PowerPoint from Microsoft, but I'm not sure if it is the right one for me to look into. So I want to get a summary. case, you're probably familiar now with the Copilot summary format. It gives you a simple list here, and more importantly, each of the citation links goes back to the original slide of which it got that summary from. And the only additional feature I want to call out here is that Copilot is not phased by having something on an image or in a chart. So in this case, there was a PowerPoint slide with this image on it. It was still able to critique and read and understand what that chart was about. So it's not just relying on text. So finally, thanks for keeping with me today. Apologies for some of the tech hiccups, but what I'll do is the recording that gets shared will include a playable version of those videos, and will include direct links to each tip. And just a reminder, you are on the road to Rory now. So the next webinar is in August, and a focus on specifically and going deep into how Copilot helps with meetings. So we'll share the registration link afterwards, but I encourage you to sign up for that one for August 15th. And for those of you, again, who noticed I only gave 6 tips so far, tip 7 is to sign up for that webinar regarding meetings, just to keep your education around what Copilot can do fresh and up to date. So if you're in a rush, thank you for your time. As promised in these sessions, we always run on time, if not ahead of time. So with the video hiccups, we're definitely ahead of time today. But a couple of things I'd like to leave you with are also not working. I'm just going to call it out directly. So if you could sign up for the next webinar. Second item is, if you simply can't wait and want Copilot today and want to know how your business gets this, please do email me directly on dean.anderson@casedimensions.com. I'll share that in the follow-up notes. And finally, if you found this useful when you received the recording link to your colleagues, please do share it, and then we can keep the message going about what is possible with Copilot. So thank you again, and I hope you have a great morning, and I will talk to you in August. Thank you.